Alright, so let's start doing our lighting, lighting and shading. So let's first start just with a basic HDRI. Let's just first make our redshift drop. So let's control click on in our redshift tab here, control click. So we get a drop. So I have preset for my redshift drop. Well, I guess so if I'm gonna use it, it's again also in the preset download that you have. So that's just putting all of this stuff, which will put the renders in the correct direction with a name stuff, and it sets up some basic global illumination settings, for example. So radiance point cloud, so all the default redshift type render settings. So let's first start just with a basic HDRI. So what I used is this one from HDRI Haven. So Clovendal Partly Cloudy, so you can just download that. Or just use another one. This one will be in the download, but again, it's from HDRI Haven, so support them on Patreon if you want to help them out. HDRI Haven is awesome. They have a whole bunch of free HDRIs. It's absolutely amazing. So let's just open up a render view here. Maybe let's just do one over here. Redshift render view. And let's just do it on a wider camera. Let's just do something like this. And let's just put on our force objects, let's put RNDR underscore star. It will means it will render every object which we prepended with RNDR. So that's why we did that. So let me just hide our cameras maybe in the viewport. It looks a little bit weird. So we have that set up. Let's make a redshift light dome. And I already downloaded the HDRI and I put it in my assets HDRI folder. So if I'm going to do $root/assets/HDRI. So again, $root will evaluate to the correct location because that's what we set on our shot setup. And oh, in this case, I haven't put the HDRI here. So let me just very quickly do that maybe. So what we're going to do is inside of this regrowth thing, inside of our regrowth tutorial assets HDRI folder, we're going to paste our thing in there from the correct folder. So that was my original project folder. So I'm just going to paste it over. So now we should be able to, if I actually go to my tutorial thing, yes, then if I go in here, you can see now it's there. So it's just very easy to refer to. So you can see now it shows up. I'm not going to convert this to Asus Color Space in this case. You can definitely do that. Well, if you want to do that, actually, maybe we can do it. I have a tool for that. So you can do on compositing network, we can do TVH Asus convert. So what you can do there is on my HDRI folder, select it, check the extension is HDR, export the disk. Gonna wait a little bit. So this is a separate tool that I have. So if you're on, so this is downloadable for Patreons or it's on Grimroad. So you can just download that, but that will convert everything to Asus Color Space. So now we have one Asus. I guess let's just use that. Doesn't really shouldn't make that much of a difference, but so we're gonna actually just ended up compositing the whole thing, by the way, in sRGB. So it doesn't really matter that much in this case, but I guess if you want to do it in OCIO, let's just put it like that. Rec 709 Asus. So I have a video on this, so you can check that out. If you just search for Tim van Helsing convert textures to Asus, then this video will show up. So that's also how to configure this inside of Redshift. So make sure to watch that. It's also on my website, so timvanhelsdinger.com. You can check it there. Anyway, so let's save and let's just press render and see what happens. It's probably going to take a little bit to load because the jar model is a little bit heavy. So we might actually want to swap that out with a low resolution one, but it's saying failed to get for some reason. Oh, and I haven't put the correct camera yet. So let's just do out. Let's just go to our out redshift. Let's grab our correct camera. So let's say shot 2. And let's on our light dome disable background. Oh, and we also want our grid, by the way, to render. So we should probably also call that RNDR. Right, so we have this grid here. Let's call that RNDR ground, something like that. Let's make it green. Now if we should reload, it should automatically pick up on it. All right, so that works. This is a little bit difficult now to judge kind of our light. So let's add one material. So we're first going to set up our lighting, but I do want to add a material to the ground so we at least somewhat know what we're doing. And we're going to, of course, when we start building the shaders, we're going to go a bit back and forth between shading and lighting. But let's just go to the material. Let's do our redshift material builder. Just grab base material. Let's just do a, let's make it black, reflective and roughness. Let's just add that to our ground. Call it ground. Oh, and I don't want, by the way, to, yeah, so that's one thing that we don't want our HDRI to influence our ground, because I don't want these reflection on there. So I'm gonna go to HDRI, I'm gonna enable light mesh associations. I'm going to associate it with everything except for the ground. I almost forgot that I did that, but everything except for the ground, everything except for the ground. Okay, so that's a lot. Oh, now I'm reloading it. Well, whatever. Takes a little bit. Oh, geez, this bug is getting me crazy, man. Oh, right. So basic light here. So we have just with the HDRI, we just get some natural stuff like with the clouds. And now let's add some of our own lights. So does it? Oh, let's put this to camera, rock camera. I think we need to reload again then. So we at least look through the correct camera. Right, so let's add some more light. Let's do a very nice little light over here. So in this, so where we are now, we're in the, let me just turn off my light in viewport. Let me turn off the ground in the viewport. And why is it reloading? Right. So I'm just putting it here. So here we have the camera, and I'm putting it a little bit to the, well, to the left. So just to fill it in a little bit. So let's just go on the, let's move this up. So let's make it a, let's make the light, let's put it in here. And we're gonna play more with these lights once we start doing the shading. But let's just make it a disk maybe. Oh, and it's not. Sometimes the IPR just stops. I don't know if you ever heard that, but it's just very strange. All right, so disk. I wanted to maybe a little bit smaller. Increase the intensity a little bit. So there's some nice light coming there. Now it's really difficult to see with our plant just having a white material, but we're gonna get back to it. I just want some basic lights to start off, because then we're gonna do our shading, it's just a little bit easier to see. Let's do another light on the other side. Redshift light. I'm gonna make that one. Also put it there. call it fill. So we can also make it a disk. I'm gonna make that one very soft. Right. Let's see if this is still picking up on everything. Let's put 0709, right? So now we have a very basic light setup going, just with the basic lights. Now let's start adding our materials, our shading, and we can tweak the lights accordingly. But at least we have something that looks somewhat decent just to start shading on, because it's just it's going to be, because this is roughly the lighting that we're going to use in our scene. So when we start building our shaders, it's just going to be easier to look at.